The most narcissistic zodiac signs in astrology, ranked from most to least. Some zodiac narcissists are more toxic than others. 1 Virgo, August 23, September 22. Virgos have at least one narcissistic trait, which is that they're convinced they're always the biggest genius in the room. Virgos are full of themselves and have the data to back it up since they love nothing better than researching. Perhaps because Virgos are so smart, they're very good liars and will lie to get what they want. Advertisement. Narcissists seek perfection. They want the perfect partner, perfect house, perfect job, and so do Virgos. Narcissists and Virgos alike can behave in an arrogant or conceited manner. 2 Taurus, April 20, May 20. Taurus tends to believe they're better and deserve more than most people. They seem to think that what they do for their own gain is worth it, because they're worth it. They lack the ability to empathize. If it didn't happen to them, then they won't even bother to try to understand it. Taurus and narcissists both also tend to be bullies who always want their way and have intense anger issues. They're master manipulators and can be shallow and materialistic. Advertisement. If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you try never to be in that situation again. And if we add astrology to the mix, it's clear that the most narcissistic zodiac signs share some specific qualities. However, the most narcissistic thing about Taurus is their ability to talk people into doing things they'd never normally do. You need to be on your guard when dealing with Taurus. 3 Leo, July 23, August 22. Leos are so full of themselves that it's not hard to see them as narcissists. They honestly believe the world revolves around them and that they're justified in doing whatever they want to keep it that way. They come off as very confident but are secretly insecure, just like a narcissist. Leos practically invented love bombing, the tactic of showering someone with attention, gifts, texts, and flowers. Leos will do almost anything to satisfy their desires, and they don't care who gets hurt in the process. If you need to disengage from a narcissistic Leo, they'll be able to spin it so they're the victim. Advertisement. 4 Scorpio, October 23, November 21. If Scorpio is in a good place, they're not that narcissistic, but watch out if they've recently been hurt or betrayed. They become extremely focused on revenge. When Scorpio is on the warpath, they don't care who gets hurt. Payback for Scorpio is cold, calculating, and violent. They don't seem to see how wrong it is to take advantage of others to get what they want. They have a talent for completely blocking people out and erasing them from their lives. 5 Aquarius, January 20, February 18. Narcissists do whatever they need to do to get what they want, even if it leads to violence. While they may appear charming and warm, they're actually cold, detached, and are lacking in compassion and empathy. If you accused Aquarius of being narcissistic, they'd say you were wrong, they're just independent. Well, they can be independent to the point where they don't think about anything but their own. They may want to help people and the earth, but not if there are too many feelings involved. Aquarius has the cold and aloof qualities that narcissists do. Advertisement. They will also take advantage of people for their own goals, and sometimes their charity work is merely a way to get attention and followers. They want to inspire because they love that kind of attention. Aquarians think they know better than you, and if they use you for their own goals, you should feel flattered. 6 Aries, March 21, April 19. Aries are more inconsiderate than narcissistic. They aren't always thinking of others and don't take them into account, even when it's a loved one. This zodiac sign does what they want, and if it works out for others, that's cool. If it doesn't, that's not Aries' concern. Don't try to challenge their superior status because you'll have a war on your hands. Advertisement. Related, zodiac signs that are the worst and most evil, ranked. For this reason, Virgos are often considered the most narcissistic zodiac sign in astrology. 7 Sagittarius, November 22, December 21. If you get in the way of Sagittarius getting what they want, they'll make you regret it. When it comes to saying what's on their mind, Sagittarians can be blunt and don't seem to care how much it hurts. It's impossible for them to see things from another person's point of view. When they use manipulation tactics, they don't see how it's wrong. Sagittarius isn't evil the way that narcissists can be, just immature and self-centered. 8 Cancer, June 21, July 22. Cancers can be needy like a narcissist and will use whatever tricks they have to keep someone paying attention. But Cancers are too compassionate to be true narcissists. Advertisement. They might be codependent, pessimistic, and highly suspicious, but they're not arrogant, unemotional, or scheming. When Cancer gets emotionally hurt, they can become very self-centered and consumed with feelings of self. 9 Gemini, May 21, June 20. Geminis tend to be too scattered and disorganized to be good narcissists. They're clever and can certainly spin a tale to make themselves look like a hero, but they're not great at using people for their own needs. They can be narcissistic when it comes to talking about themselves, but even then, they're not out to hurt anyone. Geminis are smart and very social, which are helpful traits if you're a narcissist, but Geminis are, at their essence, too kind and thoughtful to be good narcissists. Some narcissists are fully aware of their narcissism and do nothing about it because they don't think their qualities are a bad thing. They're not users, they're merely focused and determined to get what they want out of life. Narcissists believe they're superior to everyone. 10. Libra, September 23, October 22. Libras can be very deceptive and superficial. They like pretty things and pretty people and will use their charm to get them. All Libras enjoy getting attention and naturally expect special differential treatment. Advertisement, but they're not cold or arrogant. Libras try to avoid conflict. They love talking about themselves and will exaggerate those things if they sense the listener isn't impressed enough. It doesn't matter if you played the same part in your school play. Libra will tell you they did it better. 11. Capricorn, December 22, January 19. Capricorns are too dependable and conscientious to be extremely narcissistic. But that's not to say they don't have some narcissistic traits. This zodiac sign can be somewhat calculating and cold-hearted when it comes to getting what they want. If Capricorn was going to be narcissistic, it probably would have something to do with their work or career. Manipulating a loved one wouldn't sit right with advertisement. 12. Pisces, February 19, March 20. But there's one thing narcissists don't want, and that's a lack of attention. If all eyes aren't on them, they'll get the focus back on them. Because Pisces is usually so selfless, they tend not to be narcissists. They'd have too much trouble being calculating, cold, and insensitive, as those qualities go against everything they stand for. Pisces are more comfortable being followers than leaders, and probably don't have the energy required to be a narcissist. Never take a narcissist at face value or believe what they say, especially if it's about themselves. To help you identify the true nature of a narcissist, here's a look at how they behave according to their astrologically influenced personality traits. Zodiac signs ranked from most to least narcissistic.